put his king in the center, and try to outplay Naroditsky in an endgame.
Both of these players looking to go up to 4 out of 4. Hans Niemann is already in a winning position in round 4, but he lost in round 3. Hans Niemann, he has already taken a loss this week. He won game week 5. What will happen to Hans Niemann in game week 6? Magnus Carlsen is definitely hungry to win game week 6 and take his first Title Tuesday victory for his little son, born on September 27th.
Ooh, and a flashy move just as we jump back into the chess. This is not a blunder, it's not a mouse slip, it is a knight sacrifice. But if the knight is taken by a pawn, the white pawn will recapture, and there'll be a discovered check against the black king. That would give the white pawn time to not only take that pawn, but take the bishop afterwards. And that would lead to a very level-looking endgame. This knight is menacing, it's threatening some forks, it's threatening this pawn as well. So Magnus might be inclined to take that piece off the board. You don't want to blunder knight forks. That's the rule. That's rule 101 of blitz chess. Knights are so tricky. And there's another fork over on this side as well. Knight into this square with a check would profit from a pin against the black rook. Magnus might just be forced to take this knight off, maybe even with the bishop. But that's a beautiful move from Naroditsky. That has slowed Magnus right down and asked some very difficult questions.
These two have played a lot against each other online, correct, David?
Mm-hmm. So many times. I've lost count. During the pandemic, I pretty much spent 6 months watching these guys play bullet every night. Oh, and it's a blunder from Magnus Carlsen. Just as we said it, I mentioned that was a fork against the king and against the rook due to a pin. Magnus's first blunder as a father. And Naroditsky, we talked about how they've played a lot. He has beaten Magnus a lot in bullet. But now he needs to do it again. He should be getting this job done. He's got so much time, under 3 minutes now. Should be enough. Rook versus bishop, that is the material advantage for him. But there are open lines, that's the key. The white rook is going to infiltrate soon. And Magnus is in huge trouble.
What is the big issue for Magnus right now?
It's material. His bishop, long-term, will not compete against a white rook. If the black rook ever gets traded for one of white's rooks, it's going to be easy for Magnus. He'll use his rook to gobble up all the black pawns. So for Magnus, it's keeping his rook on the board, keeping all his pawns protected, trying to keep the white rooks out. But all of those together, it's going to be so tough. So tough. If anyone can do it, it's Magnus Carlsen. But I think Naroditsky wins this 9 times out of 10.
It's trouble for Magnus Carlsen here in round 4. Daniel Naroditsky right now looking like the one who will go up to 4 out of 4. Hikaru Nakamura also has that chance. He is massively better right now with the black pieces in his game. Ali Reza Firouzja in a winning position with the white pieces. Magnus Carlsen, ooh, can he afford to lose this one? He will fall behind. Trouble for the world number 1.
Big trouble. Magnus has lost another pawn. The white rook is attacked, but it can go and grab this pawn on the edge of the board. He does something else here, Naroditsky. He's trying to catch the black bishop in a pin. So I'm now expecting him to move his king forward, not allow any checks from the black rook. And as we mentioned, a rook trade will be fatal for black. Magnus now in huge trouble. The white king does indeed move. The problem is this bishop is stuck. It's going to get hit. It will have to give way. And a rook trade is almost guaranteed. There we go. Rook's coming off the board. Magnus relying on a fortress. We know what he thinks about those, but it's not going to be enough. There's too many pawns on this board for black to have any real hope of saving this game. The white pawns are going to start advancing as well, create a passed pawn. The black bishop is so one-dimensional. The white rook is so flexible, versatile.
I see the chat speculating if it was a mouse slip by Magnus, the blunder.
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. He moved his rook, which dealt with one threat. It dealt with 2 threats, actually. It protected a pawn, got out of one fork. He just didn't look at the other fork on the other side of the board. As normally, I like to give the benefit of the doubt for these top players, but I do think that was just a moment of blindness by Magnus, and there we go. It is a result. Daniel Naroditsky takes down